Hello team, Kat here. Welcome. I hope you are doing awesome. In this video, I'm so excited to share with you how to get more clients without marketing tactics that don't feel like you. You know, those tactics that feel really uncomfortable, that feel maybe pushy or maybe kind of aggressive or just feel a bit icky. And I was talking to some friends about this recently, actually yesterday, and I was saying, what is it? What are, you know, those tactics where you just feel like they're trying to twist your arm, they're trying to kind of manipulate you into thinking a certain way, or, you know, sometimes you get those emails where you click through and it's like, oh, cool, you're going to give me this thing. And then inside the email, it's not there. They don't actually deliver what they say they're going to deliver. You know, that bro marketing kind of marketing where you just feel like you're being sold at, or you feel like they're not even really on your side, that they're trying to convince you of something. And I just repel it. And I attract a lot of people, female coaches who say to me, Kat, I hate marketing. And, you know, I've really thought about this a lot, because if we hate marketing, we're not going to do it. And if we want to grow our business, we have to be marketing, right? So I'm thinking, these women hate marketing. Why is it that I love marketing when I used to hate marketing? I used to not like it. What was the shift? And in this video, I want to share with you 5 things that you can do where you can market in a way that's really elegant, in a way that feels like you. It feels authentic. It feels, because it is authentic. It doesn't just feel it. It is authentic. It's genuine. And you actually really enjoy it. You want to market because your marketing becomes a very enjoyable experience. So my goal for you today in this video is for you to just fall a little bit more in love with marketing so that you want to do it more, and also to help you attract clients in a way that doesn't feel like it's not aligned to you, it's not aligned to your values. I've realized that a lot of people are not marketing at the level that they really want to be or could be, and that need the level that they need to be in order to attract the clients consistently that they want to get in, because they feel like they don't want to do some of these tactics that just doesn't feel like them. It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to post every single day. I don't want to email my list every single day. It just doesn't feel right. So if you've ever had that feeling where it just doesn't feel right, where it just feels gross, where it feels like you're not really adding value, where you're trying to almost trick people, and you don't want people to feel like a number. You don't want to just, okay, it's not working, so I'll just do more and more and more and more and just do this massive quantity of posts, as opposed to really crafting something that's quality. Then this is absolutely for you. We want to be on the side of our audience. We want to be on their side. It's not meant to feel like a fight. It's not meant to be like, I'm going to overcome all these objections so that you are convinced. You know, if you have to convince people that to work with you, then they're probably not the right people. Think about some of the tactics that have been used on you. If you've had anything used on you that you just think gross, could you just pop it into the chat box, into the comments? Because I would love to know what have been some of your experiences in the marketing tactics that don't feel like you. I would love to hear if you could share that. By the way, if you're on here live, could you just pop a hashtag live into the comments? I'd really appreciate that. It just helps get this out to more people. And if you're watching the replay, if you could just pop a hashtag replay, that would be really awesome. I'd really appreciate that. I also will reply to all of your comments, because I love reading your comments. I love knowing you're here. And I so appreciate those of you who show up here, especially those of you who consistently show up. And I would love to know, what are some of the tactics that you've seen that have been used on you? I know for me, when I think from a sales scenario, you know, I've been on some of these sales conversations where people have used these tactics on me that have literally triggered me physically, like emotionally. I feel my whole nervous system freaking out. And I've said something like, oh, I just want to sit with that and have a think about it. And they've said, oh, well, I can clearly tell that you're not committed to your business. Or, okay, well, if you have to think about it, it's probably not for you. Or, you know, if you can't make a quick decision, you know, you're not the kind of person we want to work with. These things that have made me feel so gross. I can think of numerous sales calls that I've been on that feel like that. And it's that feeling that can sometimes put people off from sales calls. The same thing happens with marketing, you know, where you get that feeling that they're just, it's just like a game, like, let's play a game and let's see if I can convince you to buy my stuff, you know. Or I think about a landing page where maybe they offer you something and you tick no, and it's the option is like, yes, I want to blow up my business, or the option is, no, I'm not interested in growing my business, or I'm not committed to grow my business. And it feels quite patronizing, like, oh, there's not a third option. Like, or, you know, if you don't take this up, then clearly you're not committed. Or you go to these events where they've made all these promises of what you're going to get, and then you go to the event and you just hear all these personal stories, and they show a million testimonials, and you write like one line of notes. And I remember going to this half-day VIP, and I literally wrote one line of notes, which was start your own Facebook group, and the other 4 hours was just fluff, you know. And so it's all these promises, and so I can see why people get put off marketing. But my heart is for you to love marketing so that you want to do it. But the only way we can love marketing is if you do it authentically, and if you do it in a way that feels right to you, that feels good to you, that feels aligned with who you are and your values. We've got here the tactic where they resend an email saying the previous email went out with an error. Yeah, how many times have we seen "I'm sorry" as a subject line, or "I made a mistake"? You know, it's this vulnerable email. And I think you're trying to be vulnerable, but it almost feels like fake vulnerability. It feels like it's just part of your email sequence to get me to open your email. So if you don't want to do that type of marketing, let's talk about the other type of marketing, the marketing that has heart, the marketing that gives value. And I want to give you 5 things on how to actually do this. So if you're taking notes, write these down. Number 1, model, don't copy. Model, don't copy. Now, one thing I always encourage my clients to do is to model the people that are doing what they want to do, but at a much higher level. So we all have 3 to 5 people that we're following, that we look up to, people that are very successful in their space, and we just keep an eye on what they're doing. We have a look at the Facebook ads library, we create swipe files, and we research. But we do not copy, because if you copy, that is going to feel really inauthentic. It's not going to feel genuine, and it's going to feel like copy paste marketing. We do not want to be doing copy paste marketing. What we want to be doing is marketing that looks at what other people are doing and says, okay, I can get some ideas here that can tweak some ideas, but I'm going to model that, and I'm going to trust my amazing brain, my creative brain, to come up with creativity that's uniquely mine. We do not want to use the same language that everyone else is using. So the more you look at other people's stuff, the less it's going to sound like you. However, we can fast track the process by modeling. I kind of think of it like when I was a songwriter, I used to write songs in a band, and I would listen to the kind of music that we played, which was rock, specifically punk rock at the time. And I was so influenced by that music that when I was writing songs, there'd be influence that would come through the songs. But it wasn't like, oh, okay, there's the chord progression, I'm going to just rip off that chord progression, I'm going to rip off that key change, and I'm going to rip off those lyrics and swipe them. That wouldn't be cool. You know, that's I mean, if you do too much, it's full on plagiarism, which people do. I've actually seen people do that before with my stuff, that I remember sitting there painstakingly crafting that, and people have just swiped it. I've seen it happen, and I've seen it happen to my clients as well. So we don't want to copy. We want to model. And please don't spend too long looking at your competitors. Please don't spend too much time consuming, because otherwise it's almost like saying to your brain, I don't need you to come up with original ideas, because I'll just Google it, you know? And we've got to be careful when we're using tools like ChatGPT that we're not just letting a robot think for us. Nothing will ever replace the amazing human brain. All right. So number 2 is show that we get them. Show that we get them. So with all of our marketing, we need to show people that we get them. Show them that we understand them. And the way that we do that is spend a lot of time with our ideal clients. The only reason that I can market so well is because I hang out with my ideal clients all the time. And I've been coaching for so long that the conversations, the patterns, the real life people that I'm working with are driving my copywriting. Like someone will say to me, I'm struggling with this, and it'll be on my mind. And then when I'm writing a piece of content, it comes through quite organically. Sometimes I directly go back to conversations I've had, but often it's just, I just hear it all the time. So it just comes out of me. And so I'll use that in my marketing. If we're trying to have an evergreen business where we're not having any touch points with people consistently, how are we ever going to understand people, what their pain points are, what their desires are, what the benefits are for the solutions that we provide? And we've got to show that in our marketing. And then it becomes really fun and creative, where we enter the conversation happening in their head, we show them that we relate, and we also enter the conversation happening in their heart. We feel them, we show them that we get how they feel, and we show them a process to help them walk out of the pain and into the gain. So number 1 is model, don't copy. Number 2, show that we get them. Number 3, and this is a big one, this is one of my favorite ones, reframe marketing as coaching. Reframe marketing as coaching. This is how you fall in love with marketing. Think about why you love being a coach. You love being a coach because it's about helping people. You love seeing people get breakthroughs. You love people having aha moments, light bulb moments, getting free of their limiting beliefs and limitations and restrictions, getting breakthroughs. You know, this can also happen in your marketing. I remember when I was working with 𝗪𝗏 𝗪𝗏𝗏, he runs a business called Black Belt, and he used to always say, your marketing will make more of an impact in the world than your coaching ever will. Your marketing will make more of an impact than your coaching. And I remember kind of resisting it when I first heard it. I was like, how is that possible? I know what's possible in coaching sessions. But when you think about how many people your marketing can reach compared to how many people your coaching will reach, and you think about what you can put into your marketing, remember, marketing is coaching. Like, marketing is shifting beliefs. Marketing is changing people's perspectives, changing people's thoughts, shifting their limiting beliefs. And that's what we do as coaches. We help people shift their beliefs. And then it becomes even more fun, even more creative. You can think, okay, this person thinks this way. How can I creatively help them to shift to think this way so they actually can improve the quality of their life? It becomes fun. This is influence. And this becomes a playground for you to play in. And if you love marketing, would you agree? You're going to do more of it. You're going to think, how can I help these people shift? How can I help these people have a breakthrough? You'll stop resisting marketing so much because you're not doing those tactics that feel icky. You're doing tactics that feel aligned to your values. You'll sign even better clients because they'll resonate even more with you and your beliefs and how you think. And it means that you'll do more of it because you love it, which is what we want, right? Okay, number four, develop trust. I go into a whole section on this in my workshop. In my recent workshop, I went into a whole lot of detail. And if you missed that workshop, by the way, I'm running a free express version, like a 2-hour version of that, where I'm taking the best of that workshop and putting it into a 2-hour masterclass. So just pop the word masterclass into the comments if you want me to send you the details for that. Good to have you here, those of you who are on here live. So number 4, develop trust. So there are a few things that help you develop trust. Excuse me, I'm going to give you 3. The first one that helps you develop trust is evidence. When we give evidence that our system, our way of doing things works, it brings a lot of ease into people's minds. So we want to make sure that we give evidence of people that we've worked with, statistics, facts, stats, data, ways of showing that what we are talking about has proof. It's got legs behind it. You're not just saying you need to do this, but you're actually giving evidence. So that's the first E, evidence. The second E is experience. What is your experience when it comes to this area? Because any of us can just spout off theory, right? But what is your personal experience? No one can argue with your stories because they're your stories. So if you insert stories about your own personal experience about this, that is going to build more trust. And then the third E is education. The way that we develop trust is we educate people. This is what this Facebook Live's doing. It's education. It's educating, on the different things that you can do to make sure that your marketing feels like you. It feels aligned to you. That's the education piece. And when you use these 3 E's, people feel a safety with you. They feel like they trust you. Remember, people need to feel like they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And those 3 E's really bring it to life. So I know that when I've been working with clients before, some of them have just been missing this piece of trust. So they haven't been actually showing social proof enough. They haven't been giving case studies or testimonials. That is one of the most important things you can do to build trust in someone. You can say how great you are, but if other people do, it builds more trust. You think about the people that you've, let's say you've been to a beautiful restaurant because a friend has told you how good it is. That happened recently where a friend recommended an amazing restaurant in Barangaroo. And when we went there, we were like, it's so nice to have her recommendation. Or I remember recently got my tattoo, my eyebrows tattooed, and I remember talking to people. I remember reading all the Google reviews and just looking at everything to get that evidence, and that builds that trust, that reputation. So if you haven't got those, it's so important that you prioritize that. All right, team, number 5, and I've alluded to this: be relatable, vulnerable, and human. Be relatable, vulnerable, and human. Be real, be a real person. So we can give all this facts and stats and evidence and experience and education, but if we're not relatable, if we're not a person that comes across as real, if we're being fake, if we're trying to talk about things that we don't really understand, if you don't have that level of humanness where you're just enjoyable to be with, where people feel like, oh, I'm actually going to really enjoy working with her. It's not going to be heavy and hard. She's not going to make me feel like I'm not good enough. She's going to make me feel comfortable. I'm going to feel safe. You want to do that you want to do marketing that feels human, that makes you feel good, that you put it up and you're proud of it. You're proud of it because it's got you infused in it. It doesn't feel like this, oh my gosh, I'm going to put out this offer and I don't feel like it's just a bit embarrassing because it just feels really pitchy. You can just be so proud of your marketing because you know that it's you, it's infused with you. And this is often showing that you really get them by showing that you've journeyed the journey that they have and that you've come through the other side and you've got some wisdom. I often say to people when they say how much vulnerability is too much, I say share from your scars rather than your wounds. If you're still bleeding, if you still haven't dealt with that emotionally, whatever it is that you help people with, you're still struggling and you don't have the wisdom, you haven't come out the other side yet, then I would be very careful in that space. But if you've journeyed it, you've come through, it's a scar, you've healed, you've processed. I mean, there's still a journey to go on. You don't have to be perfect, but you want to at least make sure you're thinking of your audience, you're client-centric, and you're sharing the wisdom that you've got from it that's going to be really helpful. So when it comes to vulnerability, it's not just about, hey, I'm struggling with this and struggling with that all the time. It's, hey, I get you, and here's what I did, and this is what can help you. So I hope that distinction has been helpful. I go into a lot more detail of actually how to get clients. So I've talked tonight about the way that you can do it in a way that's really elegant and in a way that it feels like feels really genuine. If you want more tactical, actually the strategy of how to do it, I'm sharing at the masterclass my client attraction formula, and I'm going to go deep into how to create content that connects with your ideal clients online so that you're attracting the right people through your messaging. I'm going to be talking about how to grow your audience with the right people, people who love what you share, where it's a joy to market because you've got such an engaged audience that they really want to open your emails, they want to read your posts, they want to watch your videos, and they don't just, you don't just grab attention, but they keep reading, they keep watching your videos because you've built that massive trust with your community. And then the right people want to work with you, they want to reach out to work with you. So you're booking your calendar with people that you really want to work with, not just anyone, but you're really excited to work with these people. You can get them a transformation. So that's what I'm sharing at the masterclass, how to do it. I don't hold back on value. I give you as much as I possibly can that you can take and run with straight away, really actionable, tangible, practical things that you can do straight away. So I'm offering limited free tickets. If you want to drop the word masterclass into the comments right now, me or my team will get you the details for you to check that out. Thank you for being here. It is such a joy to spend this time with you. Please reach out if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. I always love reading every single comment and I always reply to your comments. Questions, what was your favorite tip out of those 5? Let me just do a quick recap. Number 1, model, don't copy. Number 2, show that we get them. Number 3, reframe marketing as coaching. Number 4, develop trust. And number 5, be relatable, vulnerable, and human. Thank you for being here. Until next time, keep showing up, keep sharing, keep shining. The world needs your words. Take care, my friends. Big love. Bye for now.